Multiple meetings in Italy for Marcus Rashford's representatives, but are his wage demands out actually getting in the way? AC Milan have made their stance. We've got Romano updates on what happened with Juventus. Who else is in the reckoning for Manchester United's front man, star man, yeah, whatever you want to say. But what does Lake Como have to do with anything as well? What's going on there with that one? We'll have a laugh about that. Nico Williams, anybody? Brian Mbumo for Garnacho? All them reports coming up as well. Harry Maguire's got a driving ban. Does it matter? Johnny Evans will surely give him a lift into work. All of that news rolled into this morning show here on Forever United TV. Welcome along, everybody. Hope you're doing fine. It is a slightly earlier start today. Needs must with everything that goes on in normal life. Just a bit of a one-off. You know what it's like. Just squeezing it in, making sure that you have got enough time. And I've got enough time to give you your daily morning input of Manchester United speculation, rumours and actual things that are happening right now. And we're going to start with the facts, and we're going to start with everything that is really going on right now. And we want to start obviously with the man himself, Marcus Rashford, and Fabrizio Romano was all over it last night. Just to clear up the start of things, now Damasio came out last night. A few aggregated accounts went all over it. I then looked again this morning myself just to make sure. And them aggregate accounts have taken them quotes down. And this story of Damasio saying that Como FC are in for Marcus Rashford as well. Obviously, the new multi-million pound ownership model that is in at Como FC with investors including Fabregas, Thierry Henry. It looks like the glitz and glamour move, and it looked like the trending thing to do right now. No. It's not. Trust me, Fabrizio Romano came out and said there is no meetings planned. There hasn't been any communication already. And all of them tweets and all of them stories have just disappeared. Off the back of what Romano has said. So that is not happening. What has happened is that Juventus are also having meetings as well as AC Milan. In fact, their meetings have happened. And the reports and the major reports to come out of it. First of all, from the AC Milan side of things. Now, we have talked on the show about AC Milan probably being the one team that can afford Marcus Rashford's wages, going off reports. I'm not going to hide away from it. I thought it was a little bit strange, to be honest. I did say at the time that AC Milan would probably struggle to pay Marcus Rashford's wages, and I wasn't too sure if the reports were right. I mean, their wage structure is different to the likes of, say, Juventus, for instance, who we do know have got big paid players at their football club. AC Milan, not the same. Definitely not the same scenario. So when you look at AC Milan's situation, when you look at everything that's going on with them and everything that's actually happening in their, in recent years, and obviously in what's happening right now in the league with them not doing too well either, like we discussed yesterday, you'd have thought it was a bit of a far cry, a bit of an ask for AC Milan to actually come up with Marcus Rashford's wages. So, no, the reports are, and what is going to be said, AC Milan have proposed their offer to Marcus Rashford's representatives and Manchester United apparently. But the reports coming from that are that AC Milan are not willing to pay more than half of Marcus Rashford's wages. So the wages that Rashford are on at Manchester United currently right now, with the deductions from the Champions League money obviously as well. So it's not even the £300,000 that AC Milan are willing to actually pay half of. It's less than that. So it's up to Manchester United on that one. Whether or not that will be competed against by Juventus. Juventus, obviously, we know do spend a little bit more. But Fabrizio Romano has also said that United are going to have had conversations and face-to-face talks with Juventus also. And nothing more in terms of detail on what they have offered at all. Only the Milan news that's come out so far. But also saying in his piece, Romano, that other meetings are still planned with other clubs. Not Como. So, no, the Como one is false news, apparently. So, I mean, when you look at it, was it realistic? Yes, there is the glitz and the glamour of the new ownership model coming in. Multi-billionaire, millionaire Malaysian business owners that have come in there to Como and all of that story and everything coming from Serie C to Serie A. You look at that team, it's fighting relegation. Rashford's not going there. He's not going there. I don't think it's the right time. I don't think it's the right place. I don't think it's the right quality of football. People had linked Rafael Varane, who's an ambassador for the club, to convincing Marcus Rashford. Obviously, you've got the Fabregas and Henry. It's a load of crap. It's not happening, and Rashford will not be going to Como this month at all. The problem we've got right now as United fans is we're starting to worry a little bit about what might actually happen here with Marcus Rashford and whether this deal is actually going to go down or not with these wage demands. It was always that fear that his wages may be a problem for somebody. This isn't now. Like, looking at this, like, we can slag Marcus Rashford off and criticise him all that we want for his wages and everything like that. He is fully convinced that he is worth this money. We all know that he's wrong. We all know that he's nowhere near worth this money. His agent's blowing smoke up his ass saying, you are definitely worth this. This is the angle and this is the price that we're going in with. Nothing's going to stop us. Nothing's going to stop us now. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that easy. But this isn't his fault, really. It's his fault that he's a mopsing mad ass who thinks he's better than what he is. But in terms of his wages, this is a Manchester United problem and something that we've created again. Something that we've debated many a times as to who is the main problem at this football club. Can we really blame the players when it's the club that's giving them wages? When it's the club that's give them the opportunity to make them think that they are God's gift, like they are better than everything else out there, and they should be demanding all of this money. I mean, you only have to look at the Kobbie Mainoo situation right now and his agent negotiating in his deal and everything that's going on there that we've reported this week. But when you look at Marcus Rashford, he has got that high standing in football. Everybody knows who he is. He is a big deal when it comes to or stature and size of player profile and things like this. The quality of footballer is just not there. I honestly feel like Marcus Rashford will make teams worse when he goes there. I don't think anyone realises what this player is or what he's all about. He'll show up every now and then and do something for you, but this is the problem that was created by Manchester United. Like, we built him up to be something he's not. So it's not Marcus Rashford's fault that he is demanding these wages. He's going off, and you could just use the term spending to his means. Like, this is basically what Marcus Rashford needs to live his lifestyle right now. This is what he has got used to because of the way that the club have built him up and made him into what he is. And obviously, Dwayne, his agent, he's just going to go full in on this one. So, yeah, it's not Marcus Rashford's issue. This is Manchester United's issue. I'm saying that simply because right now, when these offers come back, what are United going to do? Like, beforehand, without Ineos, we've seen the Sancho situation and what we've done there. We've paid some of his wages. He's gone to Dortmund. He was on very similar money to what Marcus Rashford was on, if not better, because they were in the Champions League that season. So, the club have done this before. They have subsidised wages to get a player out of the door and obviously got a loan fee and got all right money. It worked out quite well for Manchester United. I think they were lucky with Jadon Sancho that he turned up at Dortmund and United got this deal and they actually made money from it. Eventually, having seen out his loan spell, he has actually earned them money at, being on loan at Dortmund, sorry. Marcus Rashford is in exactly the same boat. Exactly the same situation, but this is Ineos, and this is the one concern that I've got. Whereas United before just bowed down and just got a player out the door, and they were lucky, like I said, and we got the deal done for Jadon Sancho with Dortmund. It was needs must. We had to make that happen, of course. But when you look at the Marcus Rashford situation, this is a player, again, falling out with their manager, and we've seen how Ineos have operated in the transfer window, and it hasn't been... They haven't been really bowled over yet. And by that I mean, like, they haven't been taken to the cleaners like the old regime would have. And I'm just scared that they'll stand the ground and the Italian clubs will just go, no, it's all right. We'll go through Kolo Muani instead. We'll go for him at PSG. We'll try and bring in another forward. We don't need Marcus Rashford. The United don't hold any cards right now at all in this situation. They've got Marcus Rashford, who will just do what Marcus Rashford wants to do. And then they've got the buying clubs who really are just going to stand their ground and say, look, well, no, we'll just move on to another target. We don't need to be spending this amount of money. And United are going to have to buckle a little bit on this, I think. So really, the ball is in United's court right now. These offers will come in, and it's up to them. Ruben Amorim doesn't want to use Marcus Rashford, and we've got used to it for over a month now, pretty much. We're playing without him. So really, how long is it going to take? What's the relationship going to be like? Is it just going to be a case of Ruben Amorim and Marcus Rashford just trying to get by? It's never going to work. It's not going to work for anybody. We know that. The bridge has been burned, and this is just a nightmare situation for Ruben. And in the end, Ineos, for the sake of football matters and what they're saying, they are going to have to buckle and release Marcus Rashford, not with an obligation, alone with an option which nobody's going to take, and we know they're not going to take it, and pray. Pray that Marcus Rashford in a different environment actually sees what's out there and plays better, and that works for him. But this is something that everybody needs to take into consideration on this as well. The grass and whether it's greener or not. For Marcus Rashford, and him thinking he is this world-beating player, all he knows is Manchester United. All he knows is being brought up by this football club and being fully protected. That's gone. For the first time in his whole footballing career, that's gone. This guy, and we've seen how brittle he can be, and how he can spit his dummy out. This guy could actually just fall apart here right now. We don't know. This could get worse for Manchester United. He could turn up there and just think, and all of a sudden it hits him hard in the face, and he doesn't want to play football. He can't play the football that he wants. He hasn't got his own way. He doesn't like it, and everything goes wrong on this loan deal. If that club aren't paying a lot of his wages, are they going to be that bothered? Look, they'll take him and they'll play him in bit part. This is all on him turning up at a football club and putting in the workload. But it's on Manchester United giving him that opportunity to do so right now. Juventus in talks held. We'll find out probably today what their offer has been. We'll find out how quickly Manchester United want to act on this as well. Because this weekend, obviously, we're into the FA Cup. The press conference of Ruben Amorim will be on Friday, tomorrow. And we will find out probably tomorrow, off questions from the media, what Ruben's thoughts on this are again. And it's our manager who wants to get on with playing football, being asked questions about topics he really doesn't want to get into. So, yeah, realistically, when you look at it, Rashford training on his own yesterday again, not part of the squad. He really isn't part of Manchester United. Ineos just need to do the right thing. Get him out of the club and we'll deal with him in the summer. It's as simple as that. I'm not holding out for any sort of big deal for United and this being a success for Ineos in terms financially right now. What needs to happen is he just needs to go. It's as simple as that. And then we could got a better chance in the summer of dealing with him. Just get him out of the football club. What are your really thoughts on this one? We've got plenty to talk about today, so we're going to get through this as quickly as possible. Almost 100 likes in already. Welcome, early birds. It has just turned 8 o'clock, so if you're just tuning in already thinking it's the normal 8 o'clock show, I do apologise. We are still running for a little bit longer yet though, so you got plenty of time to catch up. We're talking Marcus Rashford. I want your thoughts on this right now. AC Milan not willing to pay Marcus Rashford's wages, or not all of them, or even half of them. Juventus have also put a meeting in, and we'll find out what's happening with that probably throughout the day as well. Please get your likes in, everybody. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. We are rocketing at the moment. Thank you, everybody who has subscribed, and welcome along to the channel. The guy, Conrad, who has been a member 9 months, says, take the hit. We're already paying all of his wages, and he's not doing anything. Something is better than nothing, I think Conrad's trying to say there. I agree with that one. Right now, how much worse off are you going to be? That's what you've got to look at. How much worse off can this scenario get and this situation get? Just do what you've got to do. If, for instance, the wages are, 270 or something like that with his deduction and whatever it is off his wages, and AC Milan only want to pay 75 grand of that wage, look, just do what you've got to do. Honestly, right now, this is what we had to do with Sancho, and it's just the making of the club from before. Look, it's our own fault. Deal with the situation. God, I wish it was 1992 again and no internet and speculation, only back of newspapers for United info. A club call as well. That was a good one in the day. The Realist wondering how much power Glazer's still pulling regarding player sales. I mean, they were in charge when it was just Sancho, so really, I don't think this is on the Glazers. This is all Ineos right now and what they want to do. Andrew says, I think they have to stand firm. Tell him, if you fight this, we will bench you for the remainder of your contract. You will never get to kick a ball competitively again until get the ball competitive again before your 30th birthday. 3 years away then. Now look, the big thing in this is Marcus Rashford wants to play for England. If he's not playing for United, he's sat on the sidelines, he's never going to play for England. So how much of this is football related for Marcus Rashford is the question you've got to ask. I don't know. Personally, I look at this and I say, Marcus Rashford right now, we've got no idea because nothing comes out from him. All you hear about these days is just his camp and everything that's happening with Dwayne. That's about it. You know what Marcus Rashford's biggest issue might be? He doesn't have a proper representation. He has, and trust, his brother. Are we going to even resolve his issue with family members involved? It's a personal then. If Dwayne qualified to be doing these negotiations, you have to wonder what nonsense him and his gang really think. There is concerns with all of that. There is worry that down the line, he's only ever dealt with Manchester United, hasn't he, Dwayne? Like I said, you can all Rashford dealing with United, but also you're dealing with his agent who's only ever dealt with Manchester United. So we'll see. Contract talks are easy when you're dealing with John Murtough and Woodward. And you've got that whole commercial side of things and how valuable Rashford was at the time. That's all good and well, but this is completely different right now. This is a whole new ball game for Marcus Rashford. So, yes, AC Milan won't pay half of his wages. Juventus were waiting to hear on that one. Como is a no-go, so forget about that one. That's your Marcus Rashford news on that side of things. But more news coming out of the Times. We reported yesterday talks had sort of snuck in with Garnacho and the possibility of him being moved on. Now, Garnacho right now, I think, is one player that United would cash in on if the right offer came in for financial fair play reasons. The club don't want to use that term and don't want to use FFP and PSR as the excuse for selling someone like Garnacho, but they will. And that is the reality. And that is why they will sell Garnacho, because they know he is so profitable to the football club in them lines. And if they're going to back Ruben Amorim, he doesn't want to use him. He is well and truly in line for a move away from Manchester United again. And more talks coming out of the Times that Garnacho is developing interest from Atletico Madrid again. Now, we've talked about this over the last couple of days and where their move is. I don't think they are looking to buy him in January either, which is a bit of a problem for Manchester United. It doesn't look like there is much money going around at all in January. So this Garnacho talk, really, again, is probably pre-negotiations for something that might happen later down the line, i.e. in the summer. There are more talks as well today regarding this story and what's happening, and the possibility of a replacement already being lined up for Garnacho. Another number 10, another striker/10 forward player, that being Brian Mbeumo again from Brentford. Them talks have started to circulate around all of a sudden again. And Mbeumo, again, I would take Mbeumo 100% right now. I think he's brilliant. I mean, you look at it this season, for the role that he plays and what the position he plays, centre forward or just off the right, for his international team as well. Is Haaland and I think Salah are the only two players in the league that have scored more goals than him. Is he of interest to United? At 25, with one more year left on his contract at the end of this season, 100% he's of interest to Manchester United. He's a very, very, very good player. But it comes down to United again. Are they going to get stuck in this sort of love affair with academy players, or are we going to get the real cut and thrust and ruthless streak from Ineos with all of this? And we've said this before, they can only do what they can. They can only do what's in their power. And in their power right now is balancing books at Manchester United. Like I said before, as much as they don't want to use PSR as the excuse, it's there. And they have to abide by it. The news we talked about last night with Casemiro and what's happening with him and his move away and not having that money available. So even if we sell Casemiro, we can't reinvest that money back into the team because it's balancing financial fair play and PSR. That was a rumour that was going around yesterday about Casemiro, and a rumour that was... I don't think it's true, because another story came out before it saying that United don't have to sell to meet financial fair play rules PSR this month. That's not the scenario. But the reality is that United are definitely going to sell Casemiro. He's definitely going to go. And this money is all being put in the pot for the summer. And this was my worry last night. It was like, I just don't know who else is going to come in. The midfield is looking very short because there's more stories popping out yesterday about Eriksen going as well. And this is why I don't see Garnacho going. And this is why I don't see any other players going apart from Casemiro and Marcus Rashford. Unless there's this master plan behind the scenes of something else or something being developed within the transfer market that we don't know about, that United are actually on with right now. Colin Kelly, thank you for the super chats. And that guy, Conrad, again, thank you, mate. Another super chat from you. It's really funny how I heard people say he is only playing well for a contract. I don't think anyone wanted it to end like this, but it needs to. Getting back to Mank next season as well. Good on you, Marcus. We'll see you there, mate. But yeah, in terms of Marcus Rashford playing for a contract, I think that's been well and truly blown out of the water right now, hasn't it? Rashford is definitely, I feel, what's the best way to describe him right now? People will say mercenary. People will say waster, lost. He just needs to go, doesn't he? I think, Marcus Rashford. He just needs to be out of the football club. And we'll see if anyone does find him appealing to them. Like, does he fit into them? It's going to be really interesting who does take him and where he plays, I think. And I will be watching him. And if he does go, which I think he will, I'm hoping he will. If he does, then I will be watching to see how he actually does. I think we'll all be glued in to see what Marcus Rashford is like out of a United shirt and playing for somebody else. I think that is crucial. And that is also crap. We are not stopped from using Casemiro funds, says Ryan. Everyone needs to watch from last night. What's this now? No, that's a mix-up with something else. Sorry. I think Marcus should give himself a head wobble and reset his angst and come back with Marcus we love. David, bridges burned. Not happening. It doesn't happen in football that anymore, I don't think. I think managers don't have the time to spend on trying to rebuild relationships anymore. It's a deliver, isn't it? Deliver now for all managers. That's what you're dealing with. They are not going to spend time wasting effort when they could be working on something else with a player that doesn't want to be at the football club, who doesn't want to give everything. So, yeah, it is, I feel, a situation with Ruben Amorim that just needs to be backed up by Ineos. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And I just don't know. I don't know which way they're going to go. This is where we're really going to see what Ineos are made of, I think. Because this is going to be the first time that they're going to be able to, that they're not going to be able to get the deal that they want. So let's see. You can't be that short on PSR. Casemiro is worth 32 in PSR budget. Look, we don't know where United's figures are. Look, everyone that's been reporting on the financial fair play and PSR says United are on a tightrope. They're literally on the edge of going over. We don't need to sell to meet the criteria to come within the guidelines of financial fair play and PSR. But can we really afford to bring someone else in when the player isn't realistically there this January? United with the Mendes situation, another story came out after Lucas saying yesterday that United were going to look at him in the summer because they weren't really fully interested in him. We are fully interested in him and we want him, but we're not looking at him in January. This was just put out by the club, I feel, and fed out by the football club, I think, to work into the summer and say, look, he's going to have 1 year left. Do they really know? I mean, we don't know with Mendes. Look, he could sign a new deal. This is what I'm worried about. Or someone else could come in the summer and take him because United have finished poorly and we never know, and we're not in the Champions League. This is a player that's just used to being in the Champions League now all the time. And again, the lure of United is big and that is good and all that jazz. Yes, fantastic. It's Man United, the history and all of that. But eventually these players are going to look elsewhere. You only have to look how football's changed and how players are looking at the profile of themselves and what works for them. And if you are failing Manchester United side, do you want to be part of that? Or do you want to wait till it starts to turn a little bit? So the rest of the season is big for United's transfer window in the summer and where we finish and how strong we actually finish. So I think that's what we've got to look at as well and take into consideration. Marcus will be playing the crossbar challenge down the local park with Dwayne for the next 6 months. If he doesn't get a move, he will be frozen out and it will get worse for him. It will get worse for him. Speaking about PSG as well and what's happening with them, obviously there has been rumours circulating about Lee Kang-in, the another player that Manchester United have been interested in. United and Newcastle apparently looking at PSG's Lee Kang-in. No, not happening. Again, PSG will not sell. It just looks, again, like anything to do with PSG, I just don't get encouraged about at all. I don't look into it too much. I just feel like United right now, I think with the Agate situation and where he was at with that was a player that just definitely wanted to move and was gone. And that was half easy to work with. Anything else, like Mendes in the summer, if he hasn't signed this deal, United's gamble on not going for him in January may well pay off. And United may be confident enough to wait this out right now and just see if the situation gets any better. I think that's what we've got to look at as well. United may be confident that the gamble will work for them and they can get Mendes even cheaper. Because if he doesn't sign in January, he then has all of the rest of this season out of the window to sign that contract with PSG. Whether he plays more or not, we don't know whether that will affect anything. He may be fully convinced, but United will keep on talking. And if it comes to the summer, then a player that is on, that's got 1 year left, that has clearly turned down all contract offers from PSG, turns out from a 50 million player, could come down to as much as 35 million. Otherwise, PSG will lose him for free the next summer. And he's that young that United would probably wait it out. And PSG know that someone would wait it out to take him on a free the following year. If he's turning all of these contracts down, that will force PSG into selling Mendes for a cheaper price. Even if you get another 10 million off him, it's still a good price for a good player. And PSG, I think, will drop definitely on that one. So they're asking price at the moment 50 million. I think they brought him in for around about 40 million euros. So if they get anywhere near that back for him, I think they will just take that. So let's see how that one develops. But as it stands at the moment, Mendes isn't happening in January. And is a bit of a concern still for me. I was all in and I thought, and the reports were looking like it was going to happen. But everything as it is at the moment looks like it's a, well, it's a recruiting in terms of money rather than players for Manchester United. That's what's happening right now. Nico Williams. Now, Spanish reports have been coming in. Manchester United's ideal replacement for Marcus Rashford would be Nico Williams. Would you take Nico Williams, audience? Talk to me in the chat right now. Is he the right type of player United should be going for if Rashford is sold? By the way, everybody, please give the video a like as well. Make sure you have subscribed. We are creeping up to that 200 live like mark. We just got the normal clientele coming in right now. Anyone who was thinking it was at 8 o'clock, just turning in and getting up to speed with the show. We have just gone a little bit earlier today. It needs must with everything going on in normal life. Thank you again for still turning in early, everybody. David Williams says, I voted yes that Rashford will play for United again, not because I want him to, but because I just don't think anyone will sign him. Look, people want to sign him. I've said this. The poll right now running is, will Rashford ever play for United again? And that probably will be this season. The only... Again, with Rashford, it all comes down to Ineos now. That's how greedy do you want to be? Do you want to just get rid of this player and deal with it in the summer and then move past there? Or are you actually realistically looking for something right now that you know you can't get? We'll see. We'll see what Ineos do with this one. Love Nico Williams, says Sonic. No to Nico Williams, says Liam Whitehouse. Williams all day long. Why would he come here? Why would he come here, though? We are not attractive at the moment. We could be. We could be at the end of the season. And let's not forget, Nico Williams isn't going to come in January. I said this before. I actually feel right now that the interesting stories are going to be the ones that we know about are players players leaving Manchester United. Whether something happens or, like I said before, something's going on behind the scenes, I really think there will be something that is bubbling up behind the scenes right now, because United won't want to leave Ruben Amorim short in terms of squad. With Eriksen and Casemiro leaving, that does, and we discussed that all last night, it's scary. It is scary to think that we are leaving ourselves that short. I just don't see them doing it. I really don't. So let's see what comes about regarding that. If Casemiro's gone, if Eriksen's gone, if we manage to get rid of Marcus Rashford, that's 3 first-team players that would have contributed normally from now until the end of the season that we haven't got for Ruben Amorim. And that's a concern, because we're talking about last night loaning all of the academy players out. It is going to be a full-on with the academy as well. Like, just looking into all of the news and everything that's happening. Manchester United also, this is another report that came out, Manchester United are ready to send highly rated winger Ethan Williams out on loan this month, with Stockport and Leyton Orient among the number of clubs chasing his signature. So another one with possible potential, who was doing well in Manchester United's academy, that you thought might maybe make that step up for the Reds, is he's going to be out on loan as well. I just looking at the numbers. I really am looking at the numbers. It just doesn't add up. So I automatically think that something is going to happen later down the line. In terms of the midfield, people said last night like Sekou Kone could step up. Obviously, Sekou Kone was the Malayan who we bought in the summer for $1 million. High ceiling, high potential. He won't. I'm going to tell you that right now. He isn't ready for first-team football. I've watched him. I've been there in person. Watched his first 3 games in the flesh. And he got injured and hasn't been training for the last couple of months, in fact. So, no, he won't be. That's another player that you won't be able to rely on to come into Manchester United's squad and cover or fill a gap for these players. It is a weird one. It is. Mendes was out for a whole season with a hamstring injury. Not sure about signing anyone with players' injury records like that. Yep, time ago again. In the past, I mean, we cannot be thinking about injuries with players, I don't think, right now, like that, personally. It has to be the right fit for Manchester United, and it has to fit into Ruben Amorim's system. I'm confident. I'm really confident that Ruben Amorim has got to grip with Manchester United's squad regarding injuries. He goes into more depth on each player, obviously, and we're not getting any more of these crazy, obscure injuries from training. No more muscular injury reports from training. Nothing like that. That honestly is, I think, where United are at right now. And I think we cannot be looking at injury records when it comes to bringing players in. So I just think let's just keep it to that. Let's not worry about injury records too much. Let's do the proper recruitment, which I think we are going to be doing right now. And that looks like it's bearing fruit for us, because I said it before, the players that came in for Manchester United in the summer are all decent. There was injury concerns about them as well. So I'm confident that we have got the right structure in place and everything is actually in a better place regarding Manchester United around Carrington right now. So, yes. Other quick roundup of everything else. The only other real big news was that, Harry Maguire has been banned from driving. So, looks like he's going to be coming in with his mate Johnny Evans from now on into training. So, banned for 2 months. Maguire was doing 85 and a 50. Wow. Jesus, Harry. Was you late for training or something? I don't know what he was doing, but wow. Yeah, 85 mile an hour in a 50 zone. You got no comeback from that one, my friend. See you later. But yeah, just to go over all of the news, just to round it up, Rashford has had face-to-face talks with both AC Milan and Juventus. It's talked and has been said that AC Milan are not willing to pay half of Marcus Rashford's wages right now. So that's interesting. No report as to what's been offered from Juventus yet. And Romano has also said that there is more talks planned with other clubs as well. Not Como FC. That won't be happening. That was a false dawn last night from what Damasio put out. Garnacho talks to Atletico Madrid are still on as well. Manchester United are reportedly looking to replace Rashford with Nico Williams. That's the ideal replacement for them. That coming from reports there. Is Bryan Mbeumo a realistic target for Manchester United? He's going to cost 41 million in January. I don't think we've got that money. Could we take him in this summer? Yes, 1 year left on that deal. And quickly, just to finish, Amad Diallo's new contract, by the way, will be the highest paid young player at Manchester United right now. Now, I did a piece on Mainoo's contract situation the other day, and we talked about Lenny Yoro being 18, being on 115 grand a week. So I think we can safely say that Amad's contract is going to be worth more than 100 grand a week in wages. He's going to be the highest paid young player at Manchester United. Is that right? Get your comments in on the video after it has finished. I want you to tell me, is it right that Amad should be on more than 100 grand a week? Unfortunately, I would love to stay and chat with you even more. I'll be back later on, but that is it for now. Welcome along, all new members, everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I have to shoot off, unfortunately, but that is the show for now, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back later, like I said, with all of the updates on everything else going on. And if any of these stories have escalated anymore, I'll be back. Thank you, everyone. Get your comments in on the video once it has finished its live. Tell me, is Amad Diallo worth more than 100 grand a week? I say yes. Talk to me, everyone.